Alright, we should be live. Yeah, there it is. For once, I was able to set up the stream properly. I'm so happy right now. Alright. Now we already have someone in the chat. Hello, Sachak says, hey, yeah, well, hello. As usual, before we start, please let me know if you can hear me properly, if the quality is alright, you know, just the technicalities. I would appreciate the feedback, and I'm gonna wait a few minutes for people to get the notifications. Although, admittedly, there wasn't much of a heads up for this stream, so yeah. But a super last minute thing. Jesse Bang UR says hello. Well, hello. Savage Beer says, Sunny, I hope the week has been good to you. It's been a week, but yeah, there's been a lot going on. The last little while was not the best for me. Yeah, that with health issues as usual, and a loss of a family member, so things have been rough. But you know, I'm happy to say that apart from those, I'm okay, and I'm trying to catch up on all my work with art, so yay. So here we are. I wasn't sure if I'm gonna be streaming today. Like, I've really been thinking about this like all week, but at the same time things have been so hectic that I wasn't sure where I will be with my works on Friday and like what state I will be in. So I figured, worst case, I'm gonna have like a guerrilla stream where I'm just like, well, 30 minutes we're gonna go live, and whoever shows up will be here, and we're just gonna roll with it. Of course, my next streams I would like to schedule a little bit further ahead and announce them properly so people can actually know about them, because yeah, 30 minutes is not much, and you know, I post on social media, but I know that not everyone checks those. The time might not work for everyone, so yeah, it is what it is. But you know, whoever is here, I will be very happy to have y'all. Sashak says, sounds great. Alright, that's perfect. Thank you very much for your feedback. I am always like anxious whether something with the technicalities isn't working properly, so I appreciate your feedback. Art designed by Ashley. Well, hello, nice to see you here. Says, hi, how are you? I'm alright. I'm just excited to be streaming. That's always good for me, and yeah, I have some stuff to work on, so I'm gonna wait a minute or two, and then I'm gonna start working. Technically keep working, because I'm already been working on stuff today, so yeah, I'm just gonna continue where I left off. Reaper Crow says, hi Sunny, well hello, nice to see you here. And yeah, as usual, you can see a little info chart thingy. It's not really a chart, it's just like, yeah, bullet points about the live stream. As usual, or if you're new to the stream, if you hear weird noises, it's probably my pet. I literally have 2 pugs sleeping at my feet, but I'm just really happy that they are sleeping right now, but that also comes with a lot of snoring, so sorry about that. But yeah, right now everyone is asleep, but that might not last long, so apologize for any weird noises. If you have any questions, comments, stuff you want to discuss with me regarding anything really, just leave a message in the chat. I will do my best to keep up with the chat. And of course, if you're talking to someone else in the chat, I would appreciate if you could use an @ and their username, just like how Reaper Crows is doing it now with Grimheim, because then I know that you're talking to each other and I don't necessarily need to read it aloud. And that can also help me when I'm behind reading the comments and all that. So yeah, apart from that, yeah, issues might happen. Last time the stream got cut short because I literally lost internet for like 3 days. That was not nice. Hopefully there won't be any issue today, and we won't have any quality problems. And yeah. Crow says snoring pugs are the staple on this channel. They really are. I had to re-record so many of my voiceovers for the properly edited videos because there was just like too much snoring in the background and I just can't filter it out. But at the same time, it's not like I can go to a different room to record or anything because there's animals everywhere and they will have an emotional meltdown if I lock myself in a different room than where they are. So it's not easy to be a pug mom. Alright, so I think I'm gonna start drawing. So how is everyone doing? How has been your weeks? Your month? We're at the end of October, which is like, holy shit, another month gone by. Okay, now it's gonna be Halloween time. Does anyone have anything fun lined up for the weekend, for Halloween, for anything? Let me know. Okay, where am I? Here we are. Alright, so this is what I will be working on. It's a thumbnail commission via Fiverr. And I am actually super excited to work on this because this is a super fun action-y shot. And the coloring part will be a lot of fun. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. And oops, I just hit my pen into the microphone. So oops, sorry if there's any weird noises. I'm just adjusting my microphone a little bit to make sure it's not in the way. Gigi says, yo, well, hello, nice to see you here. Alright, so where I am right now with this artwork, I already have my sketch. And I already started inking, as you can see. I'm gonna do probably all of the inking on a single layer. I use a vector layer. I'm working in Clip Studio EX. And yeah, I'm gonna work on the inks. And then I'm gonna do the colorings, but inking probably will take a little while because I wanna do a little bit more inking here, almost as if this was a comic panel. Because normally when I do colored artworks, I don't really do like the cross-hatching, shading, what you can see here, around here and around here. I hope my cursor shows up. Does it show up? No, I don't think it shows up. Anyway, around the neck part, and I want to do some shading on the face as well, definitely on the fists, and all that. So this is gonna be kind of like a mix between traditional comic and anime style, and I'm very excited about that. So yeah, let's continue. I think I'm gonna... where was I? Yeah, I think I'm gonna move over to the hair before I do more shading on the face. Alright, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, and I'm gonna... And since I work with vector layers, sometimes my inkings are a little bit rougher as well, because it's so much easier to make corrections. So I'm not really stressing over making lines that don't actually make the final cut. Meantime, looking at the chat, Crow says, I'm doing okay, been underprepared for Halloween, and I've been mostly working on drawing comic pages. Oh, that's a mood. Yeah, oops. I pressed the button. Yeah. Feeling underprepared for it is... But I feel like we, with my wife, are a little bit more prepared this year because we actually have pumpkins. We haven't carved them yet or any decoration, but we actually have pumpkins in our front steps. And that's definitely more than what we had last year. I don't think we had anything going on last year in this department. Or at least I don't remember. Of course, last year we barely just moved in, so there wasn't much room for decoration. So this year we're a little bit more prepared. And maybe, who knows, maybe this weekend we get to carve some pumpkins. I actually never carved a pumpkin before. where I'm from in Hungary, Halloween is not really a thing. It's starting to become like a fun stuff nowadays. Like people will have Halloween parties, and some schools or kindergartens have some Halloween events for kids, but we don't have like trick-or-treating, we don't have like the decorations really, because yeah, the culture is different. So I did not grow up with Halloween, and thus I never carved a pumpkin before. But maybe this year that will change. we'll see. I'm not sure if I will be great at that. I'm not really good with carving stuff, I think. But we'll see. Worst case, I'm gonna paint a pumpkin, because at least I know I can paint. Savage Beer says, I'm doing well, probably won't do anything for Halloween. I've been driving for contests subjectively on YouTube, is the host of it. It's been a ride. Oh, okay, that sounds interesting. Well, good luck. Contests are great. Like, when I was just starting out, I did like a bunch of YouTube contests. I'm not sure how many of you been around for those, but Cartoon Block had a bunch of contests. I took part in several of those. And those been super fun. And then like other contests as well, like many for channels and YouTubers who are not really active anymore. But yeah, I find contests are always fun. If nothing else, they are a fun way to challenge yourself, to maybe get out of your comfort zone a little bit. Where was I in the comments? Baltazar Chassis, hello! Glad to notice this has popped up on my feed. Yay! I'm really happy to hear about that. Welcome to the stream. Super happy to have you here, and especially happy to hear that is popped up on your feed. Obviously my channel is it's one of those channels that, you know, when pretty old, has been abandoned many times and then restarted many times, so I probably don't pop up for many people. Like I might have like, you know, I don't know where I'm at, like 15k subs or something like that, or 16, I can't remember. But you know, many of those people won't even see even if I upload videos, because that's how the algorithm works now. So yeah, I'm actually really happy to hear that this has popped up for you. And then we have Millie Comics. Oh, hello Millie, nice to see you here. Millie says, hi Sunny, I'm so excited to finally catch a stream on time. This artwork looks amazing. Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm super happy to have you here. I know it's still not like the best time slot, but one of the reasons why I just like impromptu started this stream, because I realized that, oh well, it's a Friday. For many countries in Europe it will be a long weekend. So I figured maybe this could be a good time for folks in Europe to join the stream. So I'm really happy to see you here. Crow says, I love Halloween. Before COVID, me and my friends would cosplay and hang out and sometimes hand out candy. Aw, that sounds fun. Like, I feel like the cosplay part is something that I kind of enjoy the most in Halloween. But, you know, that's like... I used to cosplay before even Halloween, so... you know, I just needed the convention, but... I feel like if I had grown up in a country where Halloween was a thing, I would have been killing it with the costumes, and I would have been really into that. And also, handing out candy is fun. I definitely won't be doing that, because we live in very, very rural parts. Like, our neighbors are literally Amish, and I don't think they have Halloween, so probably won't see Amish children coming by trick-or-treating. So, you know, it won't be very Halloweeny here, but still, it's gonna be fun. And maybe next year we can have like a party or something. I really wanna dress up for Halloween. You know, like make costumes and stuff, because I really miss cosplaying. And I feel like Halloween would be just another good occasion to do that, so hopefully next year we can have some more fun with Halloween. I'm gonna save a bit. Kunyu! Oh, hello! Nice to see you here! Kunyu says, I'm glad that I was finally able to make it to one of your streams. Oh, I'm so happy to have you here! That's so nice! Well, thank you for coming. Hopefully this stream won't be a disaster, so welcome back home. I'm actually super happy to see so many people joining despite there literally not being any notification like prior to this, really. So yeah, thank you for joining, and I'm really happy to have everyone here. Balthazar is asking, how is everyone? Hope everyone is doing good. Yeah, I'm hoping so too. And yeah, just let us know in the chat. Let's have some fun. Pawlowski VA says, guys, it's me. Looks great, by the way. Yeah, so I'm doing this commission to Pawlowski. So super happy to have you here. And you know, if you want, you can give me live feedback if there's anything you want to change. It's much easier than messaging you with screenshots. I'm super excited about this artwork. Like, so far it's been so much fun to work on. So I hope you will enjoy it too. Connie is asking, how have you been, Sunny? I, you know, had some rough times lately, but all in all, I'm doing okay. Trying to overcome everything life throws at me, and a lot of works. I've been definitely overbooking myself, which is just like second nature to me. But at the same time, I'm having a lot of fun with a lot of these works, so you know, I'm still enjoying what I'm doing. And whenever I can find a time to make videos and make a stream, I'm super happy to do it. So today is a good day. How are you doing? You working on anything fun lately? And likewise for everyone else, what are you guys working with? Because most of the people who come to my streams are usually artists, so what are you guys working on? Oh, I'm probably gonna butcher names here. HZSPNG says hello. Well, hello. Monitor Coming says hello, everyone. Well, hello. Nice to have you here. A lot of people here today, or at least, I mean, a lot of names in the chat. Crow says, glad I wasn't the only one who clicked the bell icon. Aw, thank you. Yeah, I feel like hitting the bell icon with my channel is probably for the best, because sometimes I just do streams on a whim and I don't really have the time to announce them properly, which is, you know, I'm trying to improve that, but sometimes, you know, when you have a lot going on, you're not sure if you can make a stream, so I rather not announce a stream and then cancel it. I rather do it like this, that, well, sorry for the short notice, but we're gonna go live and I hope you can still join me. So having the bell icon or the notification for that definitely can help. And I really appreciate if you do so. So, you know, if you haven't hit the subscribe button and the bell, now's your chance. I also have a bunch of new videos coming out. Like I scripted 2 videos this week. I just need to record and edit. Of course, it's kind of hard to find a time to record videos when the pugs are not snoring at my feet. So yeah, but I'm very excited to make these streams and videos. So Hope you are too. Gothic Lolita Angel says, hiya, well, hello, nice to see you here. Oh, so many familiar names. I'm so happy that you guys are here. Pawelski says, so far it's great, by the way, so don't worry, just keep going. Awesome, thank you for the feedback. I will keep going on. Almost done inking here, so... Coloring will be super fun. Not the base colors, because, you know, flat colors are seldom fun, but I'm really looking forward to like the shading and especially the lighting part. That's my favorite when it comes to coloring. Just adding the rim lights and all sorts of cool effects. Like, you know, most of the times it's like kind of bullshitting around because, you know, it's about having fun with it and not necessarily realistic lighting and all that, but that just makes it more fun. Kunyu says, I'm trying to finish this animation because the deadline is today. Oh my god, I feel you. Well, good luck with it. I have my fingers crossed for you. Oh, deadlines. But I bet it's gonna be awesome. Call me HZSPNG, like DD Mark. Okay, thank you for the clarification. That helps. Yeah, sometimes I like look at usernames and yeah, I know that I'm butchering probably most of your names, and I'm really sorry about that. But it definitely helps to have some pointers to how to read certain names. So thank you very much. Alright, let's zoom out a little bit. Let's look over. I'm gonna fix up this area first because I have some weird tangents. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know English words. Anyway, I'm gonna fix up this part here because there's this weird overlap that I don't want to be there. Naftali Albert says, hi Sunny. Well, hello Naftali, nice to see you here. Hope you're doing good. Kunyu says, well, I hope things go well for you, Sunny. Oh, thank you, and I hope things go well for you too. I'm alright. things are going well. Like this year has been kind of all over the place. Like there's been some real great stuff, there has been some really bad stuff, so you know, life is life. And I'm being very deep right now, but in general I feel like I'm at a place where I'm really happy with my art and where it's going. So yeah, that is something that I'm really grateful for, and it really helps dealing with everything. Xavier Moss says, I finally bought Clip Studio EX. I still don't know where to start. Yeah, I absolutely get it. Clip Studio can be very overwhelming at first. Like, I'm not exaggerating if I say that it took me years to actually figure it out properly. Of course, I started out with like Manga Studio. My first one was Manga Studio 3. And then switched over to 4 and 5. And then I upgraded 5 into Clip Studio. And then I got the EX. Actually on my PC I just switched over to the EX like 2 years ago, I think. So it is for sure a learning curve. Oh, you might hear some squeaky toys. The pugs are awake. Prepare. I actually been thinking about doing like a Clip Studio tutorial series here on YouTube. I'm not sure if I want to like make it in like short formats, because I feel like that could be like a good option to keep content, well, short. I'm so deep today. Because, you know, there's a lot. Like, if I were to sit down and like teach someone everything I know in Clip Studio, it will take hours and hours and hours. And I feel like it can be overwhelming to even like watch a tutorial where it's like trying to dump everything onto you. So I was thinking that maybe doing it in the short format, focusing on like one topic or one trick, one tool at a time, could be a better way to approach this. Plus, the shorts are something that I'm not saying that you kind of have to do it, but at the same time, we've been seeing that like all of the platforms are trying to focus on short form videos. So I feel like even if I'm not much of a fan of it, I might need to dab into it. But yeah, I'm definitely been thinking of like doing a series of videos with a longer or shorter format, where I basically just go over Clip Studio, because there's so much. And I know there are a bunch of videos teaching a lot of things, but I feel like it's kind of hard to find a source where you can have everything. Because I know myself, I've been looking up a bunch of content for Clip Studio and like learning things how to do, and you know, some channels will have a great tutorial on this and that, but there's nothing else there, so I have to go to another channel and see what they have, and it's kind of hard to look for things. So I figured might as well do like a Clip Studio from the beginning tutorial or something, where I go over the basics, some more advanced stuff, and primarily focusing on the stuff I use. Oops, I hit my mic once again. For comics, a little bit of coloring, manga, webtoon, basically everything I do in Clip Studio. I feel like we deserve a video, and hopefully people could learn from it, because it definitely was something that I wish someone had taught me to how to use it. So yeah. Where was I in the comments? So I'm gonna save real quick. Balthazar says, I've been busy catching up with Inktober even since I missed the last 9 days, which I plan to do finish it this weekend after I can resume working on a manga project. Wow, congrats on keeping up with the daily challenge. Even if you're behind, that's like a real feat. I definitely couldn't do Inktober. Like I don't even wanna, because you know, the whole lot of issues going on with Inktober. But it definitely is a good challenge. So good luck. Cross says, Sunny, how long does it take to finish a page? I'm still figuring out how long it takes for me. So far, it's several hours. It really depends on what kind of page we're looking at. So, you know, depending on the number of panels and the complexity of the page, it can be very different. You know, the fastest pages I've ever done, I can do it in like 2 or 3 hours. But there have been pages that took me over 12 hours. I think one of my longest pages was up in the 20s. Of course, that was like a double page, but still, it took me over 20 hours to finish. So, you know, it really depends. But I would say in general, I am somewhere between 4 to 8 hours. So about 6 hours average per page. And I usually try to calculate with that. The smarter thing to do is to calculate with more time than what you need. And that way you can make sure that you're not overbooking yourself. You give yourself enough time, especially when you're still like unsure how to do things. It's better to be generous with yourself and not to push yourself into like rushing or feeling like you're under completing compared to what you had in mind. A really good way to see things is to time yourself. Just, you know, set your phone to a timer and see how much time it takes you to sketch things, how much time it takes you to ink, how much time it takes to do screen tones, lettering, all the other stuff. And that can give you a better idea of like, okay, so there was this page with like 4 panels, this took me this much time, this was a harder page, this took me this much time. So, you know, it's a learning curve about your whole process and about yourself as well. So timing yourself and figuring out how things work is definitely helpful. I did that a lot. Sometimes I still time myself, especially when it comes to like newer things. When I got into Webtoon, I started timing myself to see how much time a single panel takes. So, you know, you can do that with like traditional comic or manga pages as well. Like you don't necessarily need to think in pages, you can think of panels, and that might make it easier to calculate. Another important thing is like definitely don't compare yourself to others. Some artists will be faster, some artists will be slower. You should focus on figuring out where your speed is at, and of course how you can improve things. You don't necessarily need to be faster. I found it that I used to be faster. I was able to churn out like 4 or 5 pages a day, but the quality wasn't there. So, you know, now I'm working slower, but the quality is much better. So, you know, figure out where you want this to be for you. Do you want to focus on quantity? Do you want to focus on quality? Somewhere in the middle. Set a goal, see how you can reach that, and try figuring things around that. Most of the time I try to focus on the quality instead of the quantity. So I feel like I'm definitely on the slower side compared to others. But at the same time, if I know I have a rush job, I can churn out those pages. I definitely will be cutting corners, but, you know, it just depends on where your priorities are. I'm just gonna put down a little bit of cross-hatching in a few places. Not too much since I will be coloring things anyways, but just to give a little bit of a depth to things. Where was I in the comments? Naftali says, not so good unfortunately, fighting a nasty cold, but I'm hanging in there. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Get better. Drink lots of water, lots of tea, and get plenty of rest. Kunyu says, oh my god, my first art program was Manga Studio Debut 4. Oh, it surely brings back, huh? I just bought Clip Studio Paint EX as well, and my brain is not used to it after having working in Photoshop for so long. Oh yeah, I can imagine. Like I used to work in Photoshop a lot. Like I pretty much did all of my coloring and lettering in Photoshop because it was just easier than Manga Studio. Like, I feel like Manga Studio had some cool features, like for the effects and things, but I could not figure out Manga Studio. Like, that was a struggle. And of course, back then I was mostly drawing traditionally instead of digitally. So, never even really looked into that, but I know that it was definitely a learning curve. I feel like Clip Studio might be an easier transition from Photoshop, or at least to me that feels that way. But at the same time, I haven't used Photoshop in like years, so I'm not sure what it looks like right now, so might be just me being wrong. You never know. But yeah, I feel like Clip Studio is intimidating at first. It is a learning curve. It is a lot, and I really wish they did a better job of like having like a hub where you can properly look into tutorials or have courses and stuff. Sadly they don't, so you gotta figure things out however you can. But once you get the hang of it, I think it's really great. Like, I'm still learning stuff, like literally I feel like every month I'm learning something new about Clip Studio, something I haven't used before. And there's a lot of great features here, so it's really worth deep diving and trying to figure things out. I'm not sure where I was. I wish the chat would like highlight where I was. That would make it so much easier. Crow says, oh yes, please make a tutorial series. Shorts or 10-minute videos would be awesome. Oh, thank you for the feedback. Yeah, I feel like, you know, if it was shorts, it would be literally just like one thing at a time, like kind of like what you can see on like TikTok tutorials. Which is like really cool, but at the same time I'm not sure if I can like cramp everything in there, because I feel like some tools would require more, or maybe I just suck at editing, who knows. So that would be something I will need to figure out. But yeah, like doing like shorter videos but still longer than shorts, I feel like that could be a good one to go for, because like, you know, 8 to 10 minutes. Now that's a proper time to explore a tool or a setting or a function that you can use. I feel like that's definitely a better approach for it. Savage Bear says, once I get these works finalized, I share them in the Discord. I feel like I haven't shared art with you all in a long while. Oh yes, please share it. Yeah, I don't remember when was the last time I seen your artworks. Of course, I haven't been too active on social media, so there's that. But yes, please feel free to drop any artworks, and I will do my best to keep up, because I've been kind of falling behind on keeping up with Discord and like everything lately. So I will do better. Xavier says, definitely not enough in-depth and up-to-date Clip Studio tutorials. They're mostly 3 or more years old, at least from what I've seen. Yeah. Definitely a lot of older tutorials, and you know, some things still will apply, so it's not necessarily a bad thing that it's something older, but many of the features and tools changed or now look different, so it's kind of hard. Especially when you're completely new to the software. So yeah, I'm actually really happy that now we're talking about this, because now I feel like I should have a little bit more of an urgency with this tutorial series. Okay, before I move on, I'm gonna remove my sketch layer And now I'm just looking through the line art to see if there are any gaps or any wonkiness here and there. That's all together. I think it looks pretty good. I'm definitely getting better with my line works. I used to have very gappy inking style when it came to digital, and I feel like now I'm doing better. Alright, let's see next comment. Crow says, yeah, I noticed that I'll take around 7 hours because of the quality of the line work, shading and coloring, monochrome. I know this because my current schedule is that I start working after lunch. If I colored everything, the actual colors, it would take longer. Yeah, and you know, I would say that's pretty average of a time frame. I definitely have pages that are about 7 hours to do, even if they are just black and white. So yeah, of course, you know, with time you can get faster at certain things. If you figure out, like, I know paneling used to take me a lot of time, and now I'm much faster with it. Lettering it's still really bad in Clip Studio, but I also figure certain things out that can help to make things a little bit faster. So there are definitely ways that can help you speed up a little bit, and the rest is pretty much, you know, you draw more, you get faster at like drawing certain things. You might not need to look at as many references. Of course, it's still recommended that you do. But you know, I noticed it with myself that, like, you know, I can easily draw like hands in like even complicated poses oftentimes that I could not do before. So that helps. Or, you know, you can create templates for yourself that you can use. Especially, this is common with webtoon artists, that they will create reference sheets that you can literally copy paste. Like, you know, you will have a set of hands, you will have a set of faces, or your character's head in certain angles, and all that, and it can all make your work so much faster. So I definitely recommend exploring these options, because you don't necessarily need to redraw everything in every single page. Feel free to reuse content, especially when it comes to certain things like backgrounds or objects. You can rely on a lot of things to help your work and make it faster. Alright, now I'm gonna create a new layer under my line art. And yay. I have this filled white, gonna create a folder, click it to the white layer, and this is where my base colors will go. Gonna look in the chat because I have a feeling that I'm behind comments. Where am I? I'm so bad at keeping up with comments. Our design by Ashley says, I took part in a manga contest. I rushed my manga. I would have gotten first place and take my time. Some of the quality in the line work wasn't good, but in the end got second place. I was happy with that. LOL. Well, that's great. And you know, if you know that you can do better, and you know that, yeah, I did cut corners, or I did not do everything according to my best abilities, I think that's a good mindset for it. Because then you know that, you know, if you really want to do better, then you know where to start and what to improve. I'm gonna bring this over here, my reference image for the character. And you might hear a pug reverse sneezing in the background. She's alright. I'm not sure if you can hear it. It might kind of sound bad, but she's alright. It's just a pug thing. Okay, I'm gonna pick my colors. start filling in. I'm gonna shrink this a little bit. Yep, alright. Yes, I always talk to myself when I draw. Oh, Babaski says, oh, also for the background, you make that too, right? If you can improvise and make it sick. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make the background look epic. I mean, it's gonna be effects because it's one of those kind of shots. Oh yeah, the reference drawing is really cool. Like I really like what you sent me, so yeah, it looks sick. T80 Artisty. I try to conserve my time when I do my speed paints, but I have a bad habit to over procrastinate on how it looks and never get it done. Yeah, I get that. Procrastination is one of the worst things that can happen to an artist, and you know, sometimes it can be good. I personally work usually much better under pressure, which kind of sucks because it means that I will do a lot of crunch time and a lot of all-nighters and last-minute crazy shenanigans going on. Yeah, it's a hard thing. I definitely wanna approach these things in a video properly, because I learned a lot about the whole procrastination and how your brain works sort of things. Just this year I've been diagnosed with ADHD, so I got to learn a lot that me procrastinating is not necessarily how to say it, me being lazy or me not wanting to do things. It's just how my brain is wired and it works differently. And you know, there are things that you can do. Different methods will work for different people. You know, usually for neurotypical people, there are some really cool like self-motivational methods and how you can reward yourself, which might or might not work with neurodivergent people. So yeah, it's what am I doing? Dealing with procrastination can be very hard. And yeah, for some people it's pretty easy, for some it's way harder. But it's definitely a topic I want to look into more, especially since I myself am learning a lot of things that I did not know before or had a misconception of before. So I think that's definitely worth talking about. Kanya's asking, oh wait, you have pugs? Cute babies. Yes, we have two pugs, Emmett and Nora, and they are absolute babies. Very naughty and needy babies. But they are babies. We also have two cats somewhere. They are probably rolled up near a warm spot. I don't know, they usually sleep through the day and then cause trouble during the night and in the morning. And we also have chickens. So lots of animals to deal with. Of course, the pugs are the babiest. And they are definitely the ones you hear most in the videos as well. Sometimes you might hear a rooster pepper crowing in the distance, but I'm not sure if that's picked up by the microphone or not. I know I definitely had a line in one of my videos when I was recording that I had to record several times because Pepper kept crowing and then the dog started barking at him and it was a hot mess. Maybe I should save stuff like this for like blooper rolls or something. Probably would get me demonetized because I swear a lot. But yeah, there are some fun animal noises whenever I record videos. Comic says, I often copy-paste my own art, then make into a sketch layer. I just change the expression and ink over it. It speeds up the process a lot and the proportions stay consistent. Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a really good method. I do several times. Sometimes when I'm in a rush, I won't even like completely ink it over. You know, if it's depending on what it looks like, you know, maybe if it's just exactly the same shot of the character, maybe it's just the facial expression, then I might just redraw the face and leave everything else the same. Sometimes I use certain parts of an older artwork or a previous panel and just change certain things. Definitely do anything that can help you speed up your process. It's a great method. And I think I caught up with the comments. Yay! Oh my god, I did it! Now I need to catch up on drawing. I got this. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this color. Maybe this one. Yeah, me trying to figure out base colors. Not the most exciting part, but once I have my flat colors, I promise it's gonna get better and more exciting. At least I found whenever I do flat colors, it's kind of relaxing. Like it's really just like a kind of a thoughtless process. I often listen to like either audiobooks or put a show in the background whenever I'm doing flat colors, because I find that it does help to focus on this, because otherwise this would be so boring and my brain is just rejecting that. I always used to hate my flat colors, but now I learned how to make it a little bit more fun. So it's alright, it's just the necessary evil before the fun part. Okay, next I'm gonna go like this. It's actually kind of fun how over the years my coloring method has like completely changed. Back in the day I used to like build things up, like start with a layer, then put another one on top of it, and now I kind of feel like I'm working backwards. Like first I had my skin layer, then I put the clothing, like the color underneath that, and now the other things under that. So, you know, the overlapping parts I don't have to worry about. And I feel like just changing this made my whole coloring process so much faster. And of course, having the clipping mask, the whole folder is basically being on a clipping mask, or not really a mask because I did not do the mask properly. But yeah, I found this method is really, really helping things. At least for me. It might not work for everyone, but it definitely was a huge help for me to figure out this coloring method. Especially since now I don't have to worry about all the strands of the hair. It was literally a few seconds to color the hair. And back in the day, I would just go through the hair and color it with a brush, and it would take forever. Like, coloring spiky hair was an absolute nightmare with my old methods. So compared to that, this is pretty great. Of course, now I have some inconsistencies here with the skin layer overlapping, so I just need to delete those. But still, so much faster than coloring everything with a brush. Also, if you don't know about it yet, the lasso fill tool that I'm using here is your best friend in Clip Studio. Like, hands down, my absolute favorite tool to use is the lasso fill. It saves so much time and you can use it in so many ways. I just love it. Crow says, I wish I didn't need to sleep sometimes because I could finish more art. Oh, big mood, yeah. When I was younger, I would literally do that. Like, I would literally go 2 days, 3 days without sleep just so I can do more art. And obviously I was just running on like adrenaline and caffeine. Dark brown and black. Okay, we're gonna make this darker. Okay, I'm gonna lock the layer. Now watch the magic trick. I lock the hair layer so everything will stay as it is. And now I'm just gonna draw a big circle with the lasso fill. And boom! Now I change the color. There are other ways to do this too, but I find it this is one of the easiest. Gross as magic. Yeah, I mean, I think that's like super fun when it comes to digital art, that like as you figure things out it kind of might feel like magic at first, but then you realize it's just like simple steps and there are so many easy things you can do to make your life easier and work easier. Savage Bear says, Pete, my greatest enemy when I color, and coloring is my favorite part of the process. Yeah, it's kind of fun because I never liked coloring. Probably because, you know, it took so much time all the time and I just did not have the patience for it. And I needed like the constant stimulation of doing something that I enjoy and something that's fun. Plus, I feel like coloring might be one of my weakest things. Or at least, I don't have like the natural talent for picking colors. Like, you know, I look at some artists' work and they just use colors like literal magic. Like, when, you know, someone uses colors that you wouldn't even think of to use as a light source or as a shading color, and it's just pure magic. And I can never get enough of looking at those artworks, and you know, I try to study and like learn or try to figure out how and why did they make the decision, because it's something I wouldn't even think of, and I just don't have that natural thing going on. So coloring for me definitely a super slow and tedious learning curve. And you know, there's still plenty of room for improvement, but at least I feel like when it comes to like coloring anime style, I got that. And I know a few tricks that definitely help me. Alright, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit to get that eye color. Yeah, okay. Is this another here? No, not necessarily. Okay. Alrighty. I'm gonna save real quick. Comic says, listening to books or streams like this helps me to draw, otherwise I keep taking breaks and not concentrate. I get bored on difficult parts, so listening to something interesting pushes you through. Yes, absolutely agree. Yes. I find that I'm the same. Like, I just need something to keep my brain occupied. Otherwise, it's just gonna wander. And that's how, you know, I will just end up scrolling on my phone, or just, oh, I'm just gonna quickly do this or check that. And that's how I not make progress. So having something in the background really does help. And you know, vice versa, when I was in school, I always was doodling. And you know, not just because I was the artsy kid, but I also found out that I have trouble focusing when it's just, you know, I'm just sitting down and I just have to pay attention. Like, I would just like fidget and like I just need to do something, like need to do something with my hands. Like, I either will, you know, just mess around with pens or whatever I could find. And then I found out that doodling helps me focus. So you know, it's kind of interesting how the brain works, how you can use certain things to help you work. Right, I'm actually gonna put the eye on top of this all. Oops, there we go. All right. Hypercross says, "Oh, I'm gonna use this now." Yeah, it's I definitely want to make like a proper tutorial on this. But yeah, I found that this coloring method really helped me to do things faster, especially the base colors. Like I never checked the clock when I started, and obviously this is not me working at my best speed since I'm rambling a lot and keeping up with the chat as well. But you know, I feel like I can color like 3 times as fast as before, and that was huge. So I feel like this method, or at least parts of this method, can be beneficial for others as well. Papask is asking, do you think you can change it to black so I can see how it looks like? Or is it too late? No, I can change it. Like, I don't work with like complete black. So this is what it would look like if it was completely black. Like, obviously then the lines wouldn't show up. So what I usually do is, if you look at the color wheel, so this would be like completely black, and I usually work with like a real dark gray or a real dark brown. So I can add more shading to it and define some of the strands and some of the depth of the hair to make it more 3D. So if you want black, I probably will go with something like this as the base color. Probably the lighter one, actually. Maybe like this. Let's see. Yeah, that's a bit better. So, you know, it's more like a darkish gray. But let me jump ahead a step here, because now I'm gonna create a multiply layer and clip it to this folder. Nope, there we go. Yeah. And I'm gonna, what color do I want to do for this? For now I'm just gonna pick a random color, and I might change it later. But I'm gonna change this to like a kind of muddy pink, and that will be my shading color for now. And I'm gonna go over the hair, for example. I'm gonna shade it. So now you can see wherever I shade it, it's basically gonna be black. But it will still show the details in the hair and the line work. And that's how you can still keep your details and also have a little bit more depth with a little bit more 3D effect. Pavatsky says, yeah, that is cool, make it like that, please. Alright, we're going with this. Alright, and might as well keep up with the shading, because I have my base colors down. So now I'm gonna go and do this. I'm actually gonna erase some things because I just started this without defining my light source. So I'm gonna look into the reference image. Here we go. So yeah, this is the other reference image. Basically, we're drawing Pavelski, or Pavelski's character, kind of like this setup. So this is gonna be my other reference image. And yeah, my primary light source will be basically the fist. Cool. Alright. So my light source will come kind of from behind the character and from the side. So what I'm gonna do, I'm immediately gonna put like half of this under shadow. And at first I just put down big chunks of shading instead of focusing like small details at first. add some shading to the fist, although it will be getting some further treatment, so there won't be that much room for shading in there, but at least this is something that will help make it look a bit more 3D. I'm also gonna erase some parts. What is this? Alright. I don't think anyone needs dating sites in here, so that is removed. Where was I in the comments? Let me catch up real quick. Switchbearer says, social media would like to know your location. No, but I tend to scroll through stuff sometimes habitually, especially while I'm doing homework, because I can never keep focus. Yeah, I'm really bad at like keeping away from my phone as well. Like if I'm like really seriously crunching, I just need to put my phone away. Like it literally cannot be within my reach, otherwise it will end up in my hand and I will be just like, oh, I'm just real quick checking this, and then 2 hours later I'm looking up videos on whether opossums can swim or not. By the way, they can, they are really good swimmers. But they will still drown in pools, so that's sad. So yeah, if you wanna have a good focus and make some good progress with work, you don't want your phone around. Or at least try to reduce the distraction from it. So for example, right now I have my phone muted. It's still next to me, but I have it muted. So it doesn't give me that immediate temptation, like how whenever it has the sound on and you know I will hear a notification and oh, that was Discord, so I'm just gonna check it. Or you know, this was another kind of notification, maybe it's Messenger, oh that might be my mom, let's just check it. That might be my friends, let's just check it. So yeah, it's very dangerous. And in the end, you know, a lot will come down to discipline, which, yes, for some people it might be easier, for some it's definitely harder. But you can't always work with just motivation or inspiration, because that's very fleeting. Yeah, that's the word. I know words. Crow says, taking mini breaks to look up songs helps me for sure. Yeah, breaks are great. Especially, you know, if you spend like hours just crouching over your desk, your tablet, your PC, you name it, you wanna take breaks often. I'm definitely guilty of this, of not doing it enough. Especially I feel like during streams, I'm like, obviously, like I've been sitting here for now over an hour and I literally have not stood up and haven't stretched yet. Normally I try to pay more attention to this. A good thing you can do is to literally set an alarm to notify yourself that, hey, you've been sitting for X amount of time, it's time to get up and stretch. Of course, you know, now there are these like Fitbits or smartwatches that will do the same thing for you and notify you that, hey, it's time to get up and walk a little bit. So that can help a lot. It can help you prevent a lot of problems later on. Artist and back problems. True love story. Especially once you start getting older. Like, that was something I never really took seriously because, like, oh, I'm young, I don't feel like my back is hurting, I can do this, and oh boy. Now that I'm in my 30s, oh, I definitely think different. But also, just like tiny mini breaks, not even just to stretch, can help you keep your focus. Even when you're learning. I actually just watched a video the other day that was talking about how when you're studying, taking these micro breaks actually helps a lot to memorize what you're actually doing, and studying for like only like 15 minutes and then taking a little break will result in more information stored in the brain than going at it for hours. Which is pretty interesting because I don't think any country has an education system fitting that, so, you know, fun times. But yeah, you can learn a lot and learn how to do things better. And I always found these things fascinating. I always enjoy learning about these things. Not just to procrastinate, but, you know, looking up certain things definitely can help. Maybe not there. I'm just trying to figure out a few details. Of course, I could look at my reference image if I was smart. Let's put it over here. Although it's... Now, this is one of those cases where I'm sure I have my reference image, but the whole facial structure is so different that I can't really use everything from here. And I don't even wanna, like, I don't wanna, like, copy it one-on-one. But I guess I can... Yeah. I'm just thinking out loud. That was not the right color. Trying to figure things out. Oh wow, that was a big snore. I'm not sure if you guys could hear it or not. It was a fun one. Alright, it's coming along. Whoops. Why? How? Why? Why did I change color? I don't know why. I have two buttons on my pen. I'm using an XP pen stylus here, and for some reason, one of the buttons keep resetting to the default function, which is a right click. So every now and then I think I'm pressing the button to change between the eraser mode and my base color, and now it will switch to a color picker, and I don't know why it does that. And I mean, sure, this is an older tablet, but still shouldn't be doing that. And sometimes it drives me crazy because it just keeps picking colors that I don't want there. First world problems. I'm just trying to figure out how much of the shade I wanna leave in here. Yeah, I think it's coming along. And I forgot about the chat. I'm the worst host for a live stream. Cruz asking, oh yes, and is there a way to save a color palette? I feel like my coloring can be slightly inconsistent. Yep. So basically, it's a little bit wider. What you can do right now, this is my color history. So basically all the colors I picked in the past. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff in here. But what you can do is you can, not here, here, no, here, no. Yes, you can come here, look for this button. You have your standard color set, but you can also switch between a bunch of color sets. You will have all these in default, and you can also download color sets or color palettes. How is that? Right now I'm having a random call from some random number that I'm definitely not picking up because I bet you any money they are trying to reach me about my car's extended warranty. I don't even have a car, jokes on them. So color sets, yes, you can download them, or if you want to create one for yourself, then how do you do it again? Yeah, create a new set. You can name it, like this is gonna be test. So you create a new one, you will have your blank colors, and let's say I want to create a color set for this character, so I can go in, pick the skin color, and you go in here, and you can add it to here. Add the color set, yeah. It really shows that I haven't been doing this many times. I looked into tutorials and I tried to create one for myself, but it just took so long that I did not do it. How do you add it in here? Add color. Yeah, okay, yeah, so you right click and you add the color that you have in here. And likewise, you can go through the rest of the colors, so you can add color here. Let's say I want to pick up the eye color. You add color, you can also replace. I just deleted a color, I think. Add color. Oh no, I'm on the, never mind, I'm stupid. Add color. So, you know, you go through the whole thing. You add your colors wherever you want them. You can even like group them wherever you want. And when you have your colors, you can just save it, you can edit things, you can duplicate if you like, for example, have a color palette that you like but you just want to make like slight modifications to it. Yeah, and you can save it, and whenever you need that color palette for your characters, then you just come here and pick your color palette. And when you're working on something else, you just come and work on something else. For example, I have this foliage palette, which came in real handy because I'm not great at picking my own colors, so working with color palettes really does help. So, you know, there's this, it's a really cool set. Or there was this one I downloaded from the Clip Studio store that is literally 200 plus color palettes that are interesting. Some of them are great together, some of them are not necessarily my first choice. Also, you kind of need to fiddle around with like the size, because depending on what you have for your resolution, it might fall apart and it might not look the best. So you might want to play around with that a little bit. But yeah, that's how you can make color palettes. And, especially if you know that you're gonna be coloring a lot of the same characters. For example, you have your own story for a webtoon. It is a pretty easy and smart thing to do, that you put together your color palettes, and then there you have your colors. That is the smart way. And then there's what I do. I just work from my color history. So, like, now this is a big mash of colors because I've been working on various commissions. So not necessarily my go-to colors, but if I scroll down, yes, like this area is pretty much some of my Bumblebee colors. Like, I look at it and I know what this is, what that is. As you can see, I work with a lot of purples, a lot of skin colors of various shades, and also, so yeah, there's a lot of blues. That was for one of my thumbnail designs, because I work with like the teals and the blues for my channel lately. That was for a character I was doing a commission for. So yeah, you get to know your colors if you work with them a lot, but also it's smart to do your own color palettes. Or you can go with some of the defaults, like, Clip Studio already has these like bright on pack. You have like a dark grayish, dark dual. I think one of them was like, is it subtones? No. Like, I feel like one of them had like a pastel. Oh yeah, here they are, the pastel colors. So yeah, you have some nice colors to choose from, even if you don't want to like put together certain things. And yeah, if you go to the Clip Studio, there's like hundreds of set color pairs that you can download. I only downloaded these two. But yeah, have fun with it. Alright, I'm gonna save. HBR says, sounds like me looking at bird legs. I'm not sure what this responds to, but that's a fun sentence there. Crow says, Sunny, have you ever wanted to post more art of your OCs, but you're not sure if it will be a spoiler or not? I haven't posted too much about my comics, but I mostly draw my OCs and I don't want to spoil. Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of times. And sometimes I did it regardless, like, I feel like, well, this is basically a spoiler, but at the same time, it's an artwork that I would like to share, and kind of leave it in the this might or might not be canon category. Especially if it's, something that's like, sort of like a, wrong color, like an AU setting or something. Like, I know there was this one artwork for Saigami. That was basically just an AU artwork. That was just a cute artwork of Reiji and Ayumi just walking in the snow, and they're just laughing, and they are cute and kind of, look like, oh, it might be a date, might not be a date. And with that artwork, like, for a long time I was like, well, is this spoiler, is this not? And then I realized that, well, A, it's not really, because there's not gonna be a scene like this, and B, it's an artwork that I really like, and I think it could be something that people enjoy, regardless of the ship, because in general it was just a cute artwork. So I shared it that, like, this is something that's not necessarily canon. It might not be, leave it up to you what you believe, but in the end, it should just come down to fun. And, as long as you're not spoiling, like, a major plot twist or something, I don't think there's anything wrong with posting stuff that might hint at things, or might be even a future scene. Because in the end, your readers probably won't know it. You might have some hardcore readers who will make connections, but at the same time, that will just give them something to look forward to. Or at least that's what I think. It might be different with different people. I feel like this is pretty much how people feel about spoilers. Some people actually enjoy having spoilers for a movie or a show, because it gives them something to look forward to, or something that is an information that changes how they look at the show and can find hints earlier. Where some people absolutely hate spoilers and want to avoid them at all costs. So it really depends on who's on the receiving end and how they feel about it. So, you know, some people will probably welcome maybe spoilery artworks, and some people will be like, oh well, I didn't want to see this. In the end, you can't really control how people are receiving whatever you share. So I would just say don't really overthink it. If it's something that you feel like you want to share because you want that instant validation and you don't want to wait like 50 chapters to reach that point, then just post it. By the time you reach it in the comic, you probably will be better. You might draw it differently. It might even completely change. So, you know, you won't necessarily need to hold them back on content. As long as you're having fun with it, your followers probably will have fun with it too. Because whenever an artist draws something that they genuinely enjoy, your readers and followers will feel probably the same way about that too. Like it's usually very obvious when someone posts something and you know that, oh, this is just for the likes, just to ride the hype and all that. And there's a huge difference when you see something that you can feel that the artist had a lot of fun with this and it's coming from a genuine place. Ashley says the Puck Snores are now my Luffy playlist, lol. I actually been joking about this, that we're gonna start like a Pug ASMR. I just opened my cup. You might have heard that. I'm just gonna drink some water. But yeah, like putting a microphone on these pugs, especially Nora, because she's super loud. Not just with the snoring, but any sound she makes, like, oh my god. It would be fun to share because it's unbelievable. Like, you know, I've been with these pugs for like almost 2 years now. Wait, it's over? No, yes, no. I don't know. I've been here for a while. I've been with them for a while and I'm still not used to the noises and sounds they make, and it's still hilarious. So yeah, maybe, you know, if if manga drawing doesn't work out, I can still get into pug ASMR. I have a pug lo-fi. Could be kind of fun. Not for everyone, that's for sure. Savage Beards, we've been trying to contact you about your car's extended warranty, or the better ones. Thank you for choosing Marriott Hotels. I can stand those calls. Yeah, oh yeah. I've been dealing with so many. And you know, usually I just don't pick it up because, especially like, I feel like here it's like super easy because if you see that it's from a different state, why would you pick it up? Like, no one there should know my numbers, so I'm just not gonna pick it up. And if anyone has something important to say, they can leave a voice message. So it's so stupid. And there's so many scam calls, like holy shit. When I was in Canada, there were so many times when they tried to call me that, oh, there's been like a security breach and your social security number has been involved with this case, so we need immediate action. I'm like, pfft, I don't even have a social security number. So nice try, buddy. But yeah, most of the times, you know, they're trying to sell you something, and you know, in the end, it's just their job, I guess. I worked in marketing, and oh boy, I hated it. At least I didn't have to make calls like that, but I had to do it in person, so I'm not sure which one is worse, walking into someone's office or calling someone. But yeah, this is what it is. Don't pick up weird numbers. Saido Kuraku TM, any takes on Instagram's algorithm, especially for artists? Oh yeah, it's a hot mess. Instagram is not great for artists. Honestly, I don't think it ever really was. It was just easier back in the day. It was definitely easier to grow, easier to reach people, and easier to communicate with your audience. Now it's terrible. Like, you know, you literally won't see posts from people you want to follow and all. So it's terrible. And of course now they did this whole thing where they just desperately wanted to be TikTok because TikTok is the new hot stuff. Now they did change the algorithm again, and it's somewhat of a positive change because now on your recommended feed you're less likely to see just random videos popping up or just random content popping up. But you know, it's still not great. In the end, Instagram is a platform that is trying to make you stay on their site for as long as possible. So it primarily caters to the content creator who can just churn out content on a super fast basis, maybe even several times a day. And that is not really sustainable for artists, or not as easily. You can still use a single artwork and make several posts out of it. Like, you know, you can post a sketch, you can post an in progress shot, you can even make a video out of it, and then you post the finished artwork, but in the end it won't get necessarily the results. So it's just bad. I really don't like Instagram. Obviously the whole meta thing is not really vibing with that, but sadly we're running out of choices here, because, you know, Twitter is now bought by Elon Musk, so yay, that's gonna be great. So, you know, it is what it is. What I can recommend is don't tie down yourself with a single platform. Always be prepared to abandon a platform or move to somewhere else, and make sure that people know where you can be found. Branding really helps, because if you're using the same username on every platform, at least you will be easier to find. But yeah, you literally never know when a platform will, not saying go under, but just change completely and terribly, that you might not be able to use it in the best way for your audience or whatever you're doing with your art. We've seen it with Tumblr in the past, when they basically changed their NSFW policy, and a lot of artists literally suddenly lost their platform where they were making their livelihood. So, you know, that can happen on Instagram, that can happen on Twitter, any other platform. Even YouTube is like, even though YouTube is like probably the steadiest platform to be on when it comes to social media and content creation, but at the same time, you never know. And that's kind of scary, and that's, I feel like, part of the whole being an artist online, that sadly you have to keep up, you have to pay attention, and you have to make sure that you're not relying just a single platform to reach your audience. And especially if you're making your livelihood like this, then you can't just settle with a single platform. Alright, I have my shading. What I am gonna do now, I am gonna duplicate this layer and go at it with a soft airbrush. Just to give a tiny bit of a gradient in places. So I'm gonna lower the opacity a little bit because it became a little bit too dark. Now this is something that doesn't show up as much, Trust me. I'm an artisty. And now I'm gonna go on my lower layer and do a little bit of softening here too. Not much, because I definitely don't want it to look like completely airbrushed, but just giving it a little bit of this tiny bit of gradient, tiny bit of softer edges, just so it doesn't completely look like cell shading. Some people like to use like a smudge tool for this. I kind of prefer to keep the harder edges and not smudge things. I used to do that, but I feel like my style works better with harder edges. Probably because I have like pretty thick outlines and all that, so I feel like a little bit of sharpness helps with this style, at least. Whenever I'm trying to aim for like watercolor or like oily painter style, that's different. But for this one, definitely this is what I like to do. Alrighty. Here, yep. Alright. What says hi? Well, hello, nice to see you here. Crow says, yeah, I haven't drawn enough scenes, mostly just doodles of characters I haven't really introduced. Personally, I follow way too many artists that draw nothing but the roses. I honestly wish it was that easy for me. I still can choose what fan art to make, but I usually draw whatever original. Yeah, once again, just don't overthink it. Like, you know, even if it's an OC that hasn't been introduced, just go for it. That's one way to reach people, because they might find that character worth looking into the comic. I mean, I'm pretty sure anyone had that feeling that you see a cool artwork of a cool character and you want to figure out, oh, what is this character's deal? What is this story? So, you know, you don't necessarily need to hold back those characters. You can just show them. Especially if you enjoy drawing them more than fan art, then go for it. There's no right or wrong here. Just draw whatever makes you happy and post that. Literally, as long as you don't spoil like a major plot twist or anything, you're completely alright posting your OCs. Punk Ellie says, hello, you draw a manga color? This is actually a YouTube thumbnail. It's a manga style and it's gonna be in color. I usually draw my manga the traditional black and white with screen tones. Sometimes I do colored pages, not too often, because coloring manga pages is not fun. But the webtoon I'm working on, that's in color. But I'm not coloring everything there. I have a wonderful coloring assistant for the webtoon, who's been a huge help. So yeah. TD Artisty says, ever gotten a call from the most random place before? China, London, England, Brazil. Obviously I didn't answer. Oh yeah. Couple times. Not as often as like, say here, getting calls from different states, but yeah, like it is just so random, and you like look at the country code and you're trying to figure out that where is this even on the map. I feel like while I was in Europe, that was more often. That I would get like random calls from the Netherlands or sometimes from India, and a lot of calls came from Belgium and Germany for some reason. So yeah, interesting. The comic says, I wouldn't want to be on social media at all. I just don't know how to make my work known without it. Yeah, I hear you. Like, it's just sadly hard to make without social media. I'm not saying it's impossible, but a borderline is. Like, you can create like mailing list and try to reach people like that, but the sad reality is that people look for content on social media, so that's where you have to be, because they won't go on places where you might want to be, so you kind of have to come and meet there where they are. So yeah, I know many artists don't like it. I'm not a huge fan of many social media platforms either, but sadly, yeah, there's not much you can do about it, at least until you reach a certain point. Like, once you have like a big enough audience, or you have a platform where you can reach people, like say, going to conventions and reaching an audience there, then you might not necessarily need social media. But if you're trying to make content online especially, yeah, you kind of will need the social media. Saito Kuroku says, yeah, I learned all of this the hard way. Now I just made multiple accounts and a link tree just to have multiple revenues. Also, I'm sorry, but what's with the groaning in the background, lol? Oh, pugs. I have 2 doggies. They are pugs. So, they basically don't have snouts. They have a very flat face. And that's how they breed. I'm sorry, I know it sounds bad. They are trying their best. They are just trying to stay alive and survive. Right now Nora also has a chewy, so she's munching on that you might hear. And yeah, life with pugs comes with a lot of weird noises. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in with some lights. Now comes the fun part. And at first I'm gonna create an overlay layer, and I'm gonna go with, for example, this bluish. Ooh, that will look purplish. I kinda like that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this. Zoom out on this one a little bit. Actually, I can shrink this. What's the background color on this artwork? Actually, I might move this over here. So it's just like a darkish blue. Alright. I actually might start with that. I'm gonna put down a background color. Alright. Move this here. Crow says, you know what, you're right. I'll just post what I want, thanks, Sunny. Yeah, like, seriously, there's so much to think about on a daily basis, so just don't overthink it. Like, art is supposed to be primarily to be fun for you, to make you happy. Don't overthink it. Like, you can set up more rules for yourself to follow and more boundaries once you're bound by a contract, for example. Like, then you might not be able to post everything, but until then your hands are literally not tied. So just go for what feels right, go for what makes you happy and what you want to share, because honestly that's like the best way to reach people. Just share something that you genuinely love and enjoy, and that will speak to people. Crow says, weirdly enough, Instagram and Discord really help some of my growth, even though I barely use Instagram. Tepes has a huge supportive community which is based. To everyone in the chat, Twitter is better for art compared to Instagram. Yeah, I absolutely agree that Twitter is better for art, especially if you're doing fan art. Twitter is definitely better. Now it's gonna be interesting to see how things will change with Twitter, with Elon Musk being in charge. Scary times. Still, I wouldn't just, ditch Twitter or anything. Like, I saw so many tweets the other night where people were like, oh, it's time to abandon ship. It's gonna be terrible. Social media is terrible no matter where you go, so... yeah. That's kind of dark. Maybe let's go with lighter color. Oh yeah, because I'm... okay, never mind. I'm stupid. There we go. That's better. I'm actually gonna switch over to a pen instead of the lasso tool. Now I'm just gonna put down some colors in random places. Actually, I might switch over to the lasso tool. I absolutely love working with overlay layers. I'm still not 100% sure how they work. But, that's part of the fun of seeing how they change colors. I mean, I know the gist of it, that, it basically plays with the contrast. But at the same time, I would lie if I told you that I know all the layer functions of what exactly they will do with my colors. I might actually change this to a purplish color. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. This is purple here. Let's go with this. Let's see. I kind of like that. It's a bit more bluish. Now, some of my coloring part gets lower in this part, where I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm gonna wing it anyway. But in the end, it will come together and it's gonna look cool, and I'm really looking forward to that. Plus, I'm really enjoying this part. I just play around with the colors and the different layer modes and see what you can make out of it. Sido says, I feel like when it comes to art or story, the more selfish you are with it, like you're just making it for yourself, the more you attract friends, followers. Like Tony Valente said, he was selfish with it. Same with Horikoshi. Another said that One Piece would have been something that he'd enjoyed as a kid. Yeah, it's... I'm losing my train of thoughts here. Let's try this again. I don't think you necessarily need to be selfish, but you have to make sure that the content you're creating is something you enjoy, because it really shows if it's something that you don't enjoy. And if you're not enjoying what you're doing, how can you expect others to do so? Of course, you're often taught that, oh, you have to keep your readers in mind. You cannot be selfish, you have to cater to your readers. Sure, yes, but at the same time, you cannot do something that you hate. It's just not sustainable. So I also agree that create something that you would enjoy, what you would have read as a kid, because chances are you're not the only one who will be captivated by that story. And it's usually the people who are genuinely loving what they do who can make it. Not all the times, but most of the times. So yeah, being selfish can be alright. Definitely try and not get tied down by something that you don't enjoy doing. Been there, done that, not fun. And it can really make you and your whole work just miserable. And it can lead to burnout so fast. And I know right now it probably looks like I'm just putting down these colors in very random places. Exactly, that's what I'm doing. But trust me, it will all come together in the end. I actually don't like it here. The artist says that's the best thing about being an artist. You get to experiment with different tools, and once you get the lay of the land, you'll be able to make something even better in future artwork. Yeah, absolutely agree. And you know, that's something that I come to really enjoy in digital art. That there's just so many things that you can try and play around with. And you know, sometimes it will look like hot mess. Or at least in the process while you're working on it. And some other times you find something that actually looks really cool and you know that, oh, well, now I can use this going forward. I actually kind of like what this is doing with the eye. And yeah, many times you will find something completely accidentally. That's also part of the fun. Okay, I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna create a new layer. Actually, gonna go back here and look at the colors a little bit. Okay, so I will need this tealish deal here. All right. Minicomic says, this topic is so interesting. I'm not writing for the huge shonen manga market. I'm mixing in lifespan stories for mature audience, and it is a bit scary since it's harder to market. Yeah, yeah, it definitely is harder to market, harder to sell. But you know, being in a smaller niche also has the upside that usually a smaller niche will have more dedicated buyers. Most of the times, depending on the niche, of course, it might or might not be true. Because, you know, content is more rare for that audience, so they probably will be more supportive. Nope, I need this one. Charlie. Oh, I have a snuggly cat. So yeah, sorry, I got distracted by the cat. It's definitely harder to establish yourself and you're going for something very niche, but not necessarily harder to sell, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to, like, for example, actually, yeah, I think that's hey, hello, can I help you, sir? No. That's not a good place for you to be. So our cats discovered that they can be on top of my PC tower, which is obviously cats love that because it's nice and warm. But the problem is that my power button is literally on top of my PC. And so far there has been at least 3 times where the cats just literally tapped on the power button and turned my PC off. So I'm trying to, like, decondition them that, oh, hello, okay, now he's on my lap. Alright, that's better, I guess. So I'm trying to condition them to not to be on the PC. Well, so far, not doing so great. And now I have cat hair in my mouth, that's lovely. Anyway, I don't know where I was with my train of thought, so sorry. Oh yeah. So, for example, you know, many of my stories, or at least definitely the stories I write, and even the webtoon that we're doing with my wife, you know, they are boo stories, so to speak. So, you know, primarily catering to people who are LGBTQ or are looking for LGBTQ content. Now, that immediately makes it so much harder to market and try to... Jasper, that's very nice. I really don't feel like... Okay. Man, I kind of wish I had a camera right now. He's just trying to be all over my face. And it's kind of hard to talk when you have a big ass fluffy cat in your mouth. At least he didn't try to steal my pen yet. That's one of his things. He will come up here and he will try to steal my pen. Sometimes he succeeds. But yeah, going back to what I'm trying to say here is, oh, the wrong layer mode. Oh, okay, there he goes. All right. So, you know, the more you're deviating for mainstream or what the market thinks is sellable, the harder time you will have finding someone who will market for you or who will sell and buy. But at the same time, on the other hand, you will have the people who want that content desperately because it's not the mainstream. So it's very rare that they can find good content in that category. You know, if we're sticking with the LGBTQ example, it's hard to find good LGBTQ content where it's, especially if it's, you know, something that like coming from queer people to the queer people, and it's not just like, you know, queer baiting or pandering or, you know, sad jokes like bury your gays, but it's not a sad story. That's why, for example, you know, Heartstopper on Netflix became like a huge hit because it was just a wholesome story about two boys falling in love and doing wholesome things, and that was something that we didn't really have before. So what I'm trying to say here is that you might have a harder time marketing to a big audience, but at the same time the audience you're aiming for will be probably more likely to support you more, to buy your comics. So even if you're not going for the big numbers, you can go for the quality instead of the quantity of your audience. And that was a long response. Where was I in the comment? Ashley says, I draft shoujo and I love magical girl anime and romance. This shoujo got more attention. Yup. Saido Kuroko says that yeah, I admittedly enjoy drawing my own characters than others. I don't like grown attached to my own creations. Yeah, I think that's completely okay. Like, doing fan art is not for everyone. And I don't think everyone should be doing it necessarily. Like, just focus on what makes you happy. Of course, you know, doing fan arts can help you reach new or a bigger audience. It definitely is easier to grow the numbers usually with fan art than with original content, but at the same time there will be an audience for your original content as well, so you don't necessarily need to bond yourself with something that you might not necessarily enjoy. Trying to find where I was. The artist says, I have that happen before too. I have two cats and one of them does that. It happened while I was in the middle of an art piece. Luckily I saved it when it happened. LOL. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, that's why I'm like trying to save often, because the first time it happened, it caught me completely off guard. Like, I didn't even see that he was there, and then suddenly my PC was just turning off, and I had no idea what's going on, especially since, you know, I have one of those like reserve batteries that, you know, whenever we have a power outage, I have a few minutes to save my work and completely shut down my PC. So I'm like, what the hell is even happening? And then it turned out that Kitty stepped on the button. So yeah. Okay, now I am going to go back to first layer. No, back here, yeah. And to go to the clipping mask. And I'm actually gonna move. Yeah, okay. I kinda like this. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna duplicate this layer. Bring one down here. Oh yeah, I like it. And at the same time, I'm gonna go back here. Switch, so just have the character. Perfect. Actually, nope. How do I wanna do this? Okay. Erase a little bit of this too. WCO Anime says, Yo Sunny, what's up? Just joined the stream. Well, hello and welcome to the stream. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do things here. So you will hear a lot of me mumbling. I actually wanted to come back here. Yeah, I'm gonna clip that to there. And I'm gonna add another light source. I mean, not another light source, but like extra shading, lighting, whatever. I know what I'm doing. I just can't explain really. And sometimes I don't really know what I'm doing exactly. But that's one of the things I kind of enjoy, like being in a zone. And you're like, it's just coming along. You might not really know what you're doing or how you got there, but it's actually coming along. And that is something I absolutely love. This is like a fun one because we have such a strong light source here with the fizz, but also it's like kind of goes behind the character, so definitely not how I usually color. You know, if this was like a simple setting, I probably would be done by now. But here I'm doing a lot of experimenting, and that's super fun. And I hope that you guys are enjoying it too. So this is like my favorite part when it comes to the whole coloring process, when you just add the rim light and all that, and it makes the artwork pop. It's always super fun, one of my favorites. But I definitely will go back and like play around with my overlay layer, because there are some things that I'm not too happy there with, so airbrush again, and I'm actually gonna erase some of this to make it look a bit softer. Okay, doing my overlay. I think I'm gonna, oops, nope. Actually, maybe. yeah, I might stick with this. I'm not sure if you can hear the pugs, but Nora's chewing on this thing, it's ballistic, and it literally sounds like she's saying nom nom nom, and it's so funny, and I can just never get used to it. Should I use that? Yeah, like that better. I just need my color. Putting it to overlay. I'm actually gonna put down a little bit more of this purplish shade here. It's kind of funny because this started out as one of my light sources, and then halfway somewhere I kind of changed it to a shading color just because I can. I go for this whole area and just soften it with an airbrush, and we'll see how will it turn out. It might look good, it might not. Find out. Crow says, I'm still considering joining the next summer of manga. But go for it, like, just give it a try. I'm sure summer of manga will happen next year too. And if nothing else, it's a good place to try yourself. brush for this. Anyway, another like plus side for Summer of Manga now is that I'm pretty sure that the Saturday annual will be a thing going forward too. So you know, whoever does well in Summer of Manga can get into the next Saturday annual. So you literally can have your short story in bookstores, in an anthology, and at least, you know, make your debut properly. So, you know, you have nothing to lose. Chris says, yeah, I just have to post some chapters beforehand. I have like 2 stories I could bring to the table. Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily need to have anything like a complete story or like chapters. It definitely helps if you have sample pages. That definitely helps, but you don't need to have like a completed something. It's a good thing, like especially, you know, next Summer of Manga it probably won't start until like May, so you might as well work on stuff in the meantime. Let's go and change the base shading layer a little bit. This. And I bring it a little bit more in the purplish parts. No, maybe in the bluish. Yeah, I kind of like that. Ooh, that's not what I wanted, but I actually like it. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put like a soft bluish gray layer to the whole thing. Set it to multiply. I'm thinking here. I would like to have that there. Okay, for now I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna create an extra layer here and come in with white color for the first time. Some highlight to the eyes. So I'm pretty sure there was some. Okay, alright. Let's pick a lighter blue. And just do some swirlies here and some lines. Should I even have this underneath the highlight? Yeah. Trust me, it's gonna look good. Right now it doesn't. It's gonna work out. Process. By the way, this is looking excellent so far. Oh, thank you, thank you. Now over the opacity. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of fingertips, so we're smearing this a little bit. Actually, not really fingertip. Let's go back. I'm gonna give this a little bit of a blur. Okay. And now I'm gonna create a clipping layer for this. I'm going with an add glow and a little bit of the tealish color. Brighter, so we can have all these colors. Yes, I still might go back with the finger and just make it a little bit more smoky. So I think I'm gonna go in with a little bit of this color. I'm also erasing a little bit of it to have a little bit of contrast there. The artist says, yeah, looks like he's about to pop out of skin. Well, thank you, that sounds good. I'm hoping that it will look epic and dynamic. Hardness. Oh, I need to let the dogs out. Just 1 second. Nora, you wanna go out too? Guess not. Oh my god, my legs are asleep. Remember to stretch when you're working on art. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of this color here. Okay. Savage Bear says it looks great, Sunny. Oh, thank you. Ashley says looks awesome. Thank you, thank you. I'm really happy that you guys like it. I'm pretty happy how this is coming along. Just 1 second. Zeta Manga says I'm late. Well, the stream is still going on, so you're technically not late necessarily. You're just here for the grand finale. Okay. Now what I need is to make things brighter. Actually, this should have been over this layer to begin with. Let's see how that works. Oh yeah, better. Still want to lower it a little bit. I don't want to see. Okay, so maybe not completely. Okay. Yeah, maybe like that. Wow, that was an interesting sound. Pugs in action. Basically, I'm just gonna make this brighter. Actually, I might, yeah. Gonna go here. And yeah, I'm gonna put a little bit behind the character. Awesome. Okay, now we're gonna go above the character again. And we're gonna try. Actually, I probably should be saving. Yeah, that should be a good idea. Ali Hankerson says you should read Marvel Ruins, a comic where everything in the Marvel universe goes horribly wrong. Oh, that sounds fun actually. I haven't heard of that before, but that sounds fun. Okay, so there's all these particles. And actually there's some darker stuff going on there, so okay. I will go into a little bit of eraser here. Yeah, just a little bit to indicate that. It's always interesting whenever I have like a commission where I'm given a reference image and it's basically like I want this but with a different character, because it's kind of like doing a study where I have to figure out that, oh, what did the artist do here, what's the original idea, how did this all come together, how does it work. And I really enjoy these kind of commissions, because I definitely learn a lot in the process too. And it's just fun. Okay, there's nothing on this layer, right? Right, okay. Maybe I will use a little bit of this. Yeah, I like that. And now I'm gonna create a new layer and come here for my droplets. that's actually not my right droplet. Let's try this again. Particle size, a little bigger, immensity. Let's put that down. Alright, yeah, okay. Another one of my favorite tool is the particles. I just absolutely love them. And now what we're gonna do is go for blur, motion blur, and we're gonna aim for like a 90-ish degree. Up the strength. And boom, now we have lines. This is also a great way to create like rain kind of effect. Pretty fun, I love it. I also might do a trick. I'm gonna duplicate it and I'm gonna set the top one to like a glow. Move it around a little bit. Yeah, but also lower the opacity a little bit. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, it's coming along great. Crow says, Sunny, would you ever want to make a comic dub for Saigami and Killshot? I've been playing with the idea. I really used to enjoy what Shonen Jump did with their weekly comics. That doesn't sound as good in English. But they basically took the first chapters of new series and they turned them into like motion comics kinda, and with like a full dub cast. And those are like super fun. So, you know, obviously having something like that for Saigami and Killshot or my other projects, that would be super fun. So, you know, when the opportunity comes or something, that I would be definitely on board. It's not necessarily my priority right now, so yeah. Let's see, what else is here that I might miss? Maybe a little bit of those droplets. Oh, I need to let the dogs back in. Or at least the dog. Okay, just gonna place some droplets. Actually, for this I'm gonna have smaller particles. And maybe even smaller ones. I'm gonna turn this whole thing into like an ad glow. Or, ooh, maybe glow dodge. How would that look? Ooh, yeah, I like that. Ali Hankerson says, Spider-Man gets a mutant cancer and Hulk turns into nothing but a big ball of tumors and blisters. Iron Man is a serial killer. Ooh, okay, that doesn't sound as fun as I thought it was. It's kind of, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's my cup of tea. Savage Bear says, I have this idea for a seinen comic, one where these two relic hunters are bound by alien technology and it slowly takes their lives. It's definitely a story I'd break out of my comfort zone with. Oh, that, yeah, I can see that. I think that's an interesting concept. Yeah, I would say go for it. Keep it short, especially if it's, you know, your first project. You don't want to fall into the trap of making it too long. But yeah, that sounds like an interesting concept. Okay, I'm almost done here. What I'm gonna do... Oh, I'm on droplet, that's why. Okay. I'm gonna my line art here a little bit so it's not black here. Maybe here a little bit. Okay. And now, what I'm gonna do, I should have been more organized with all this. I'm gonna make a bunch of my layers disappear, which might seem counterproductive, but trust me, it is going somewhere. Okay, let's try it with this. And we're gonna merge this and duplicate. And yeah. And now we can turn everything back on. Really not that just yet. And we have this and this. Alright. Now I'm gonna go back to this and we're gonna give it a little blur. And we're gonna lower the opacity a little bit. Oh, Emmet, hello. Yes, I know you're hungry. It's your dinner time. Okay. I just need to finish this real quick. And then we can eat. I hope you guys can hear that. Okay. I am going to create a new layer. Go for filter, render, Berlin noise. Gonna scale it down, and I might actually set this to lighten. Let's see. Yeah, kind of gives that anime-esque graininess and makes it a little bit lighter from this to this. Usually I make this with an overlay of the Berlin noise, that makes things a little bit darker. But I think for this one, since we have like a very heavy light source, what if I do both? Oh, that's too much. Oh, maybe I will go with the overlay after all. Yeah. Yep. I might do one more trick actually. I will merge all this together without the graininess and give it a little bit of blur. I'm gonna set my eraser to a big size and I'm gonna erase around the face. So we basically have the face in focus and everything that's in the background, or it has a sense of movement, is a little bit blurry, indicating a little bit more depth and a little bit of movement. And now I can turn back on the grains and we're done. Woohoo! That's it. That's how I do a colored artwork. Yay! Well, I definitely wasn't as coherent this time as normally, but I think this was super fun for a pretty impromptu stream, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it too. Yeah, I definitely will try to stream more consistently and will give more of a heads up in the future. In the meantime, I will have a new video out probably early next week, depending on how I can wrap up work on it. And yeah, as usual, you can find all my links in the video description or in my profile, or you can just find me at Saigami Project everywhere. Don't forget that Saigami Volume 1 is out in bookstores, Walmarts, in North America, the UK, Australia, and pretty much anywhere where you can order books. Yeah, volume 2 is coming next summer. I'm working on other stuff too. The False Hero first volume is coming out next year too. And also, if you missed my video on enamel pins, please go and check it out. I also have a giveaway going on, so if you want to win an exclusive Saigami sparkly glittery enamel pin, you still have time to enter the giveaway, or if you want one for yourself, for sure, they are available in my coffee store. And yeah, I'm just rambling here, so thank you everyone for coming to this live stream. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you find this also useful, interesting, fun, you learned something. Thank you very much for all the tips. I definitely have a better idea now where I want to go with my videos. So yeah, just stay tuned, stay safe, and keep on making art that makes you happy. Thank you very much for joining me today. That was a cat knocking over a big ass box, so that shall be my cue to leave. Alright, thank you very much for joining me today.